Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and today we're visiting with Chris Schalk. He's the Barren County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Now, Chris, today we're going to talk about something that happens every summer, right? Mowing. But there are probably some tips that we need to think about.
And we've had quite a bit of moisture this year. I mean, we've had some heat, but we've had quite a bit of moisture. I think grass is still growing. We're not seeing a slump that we normally see in a lot of that. So, one thing that I've seen is that even if we serviced that mower very heavily before the season started, those blades, we've probably used it more. Those blades are dulling up right now, and we want to make sure that we're cutting it instead of tearing it, all right? So that's definitely one thing. And then the height, okay? I think that's really important too. We don't want to take off too much, all right? We don't want to just, and I know what...
When it shoots up overnight, it's like you can watch it grow. Sometimes you just want to go out there and cut it off, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you just want to slam it down, right? So that I don't want to do this too many times, but we keep that height, keep a decent height to that. We're not taking off too much at one time. You don't want, people say, you don't want to take off 50% of it at one time. I mean, that's just, wow. I mean, it's just too much, okay? So just keep your height in there, and then just, you got to service that equipment, making sure we're taking care of that engine. They're very expensive pieces of equipment, so we've got to make sure that we're servicing it and moving along. I think those are three good places to start.
Well, Chris, and for some people who are like myself and just not mechanically inclined,
that's okay.
When you say service it, I mean, is that like checking the oil? Like, what are you talking about when you're talking about that?
But you're going to have an operator's manual for your mower, all right? So whatever that service interval is, and it's sometimes changing the oil and definitely check the oil. Number one reason, we all know that, number one reason tires fail is they're over or under inflated. And that's easy to do, okay? And, working through, and I think it's always good to teach young people that stuff too, getting them out there and handling that kind of stuff. But you got an owner's manual, or I'm sure you can find it on the internet, and kind of deal. And I think that's important to just check over that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so do a walk around, look at your tires, and if they're low, or maybe just check them. Because sometimes I can't kick them and look at them and make sure, but the gauge works well.
The gauge works well, okay? And just check them. You need to be doing that, and you need to be checking on your vehicle too, but that's a different thing. But, especially with the heat. But it's those tires, lose air usually pretty easily. So
tires, oil. What about, like, I know some people are like, you've got to grease your mower, and then some people are like, no, you don't.
Read and follow the directions. It's going to be in there. Some of them have got all sealed bearings. Some of them got greasable bearings. Some of them it's a grease once a year. Some of them it's grease every so many hours. Most of them have an hour meter on it, or how long it takes to mow your yard because you're blocking that much time out every week too. So yeah.
Yeah. And so making sure, and what about blades? We usually sharpen blades at the end of the season.
Oh, I know.
But you mentioned that we're using the mower a lot. We're not having that slow down period where we can kind of extend that mowing out.
And unless you're doing a really good job, most people's yards got some crabgrass in it, okay? And that's like cutting little wires. And that really dulls them up quick. Getting those blades sharp, I think, is important. And that's sometimes maybe on the upper end of the DIY stuff. But, it's pretty easy to do, really. I mean, I think it's important. But, keeping those blades sharp, you're going to use less fuel. It's going to make a healthier cut on your lawn as well.
It's going to make your lawn prettier,
It will.
Right?
It will make it prettier, yes.
Yeah. And so, some people, when they're, maintaining their mower, they do it at the end of the season. We still need to do that, even if we do some of this blade sharpening right now.
Sure. And I think a general cleaning too on that. I like to use the leaf blower. You already got the leaf blower out. You've blown off the sidewalk. Blow that thing off. Yeah, you still need to do that service at the end of the year. Put it away, service that battery up good so that because it cranks when you want it to in the spring.
Well, I think cleaning is an important thing because it's so hot right now, right? And that we can have sparks and things like that.
Sure it is.
Do not want to burn up the mower yourself, anything like that. No. So cleaning it off.
Blow it off, yeah. It works really good.
Is important. Now, Chris, do we have information at the university about equipment safety?
There's some great publications on equipment safety. Like I said, let's read and follow our directions. And you can always just call your agent and ask them. We can get you started on that.
All right. Well, appreciate the information, Chris. And we appreciate you watching, and we hope you have a great day.